Hey folks, welcome back to Just a Dude podcast. I'm Nathan, just a regular guy here to unpack the biggest stories hitting the US this week. It's Friday, February 21st, and we're looking at the top 10 news stories from this last week. No spin, no fluff, just the facts and some thoughts from the middle of the road. Grab a drink, settle in, and let's dive into what's been going on. First up, a tough one. On February 18th, a Delta Airlines jet flipped upside down and caught fire after landing at Toronto Pearson Airport. It's technically Canada, but Delta's American, and this hits close to home. The flight data recorder's been pulled, and early signs point to something going wrong on landing. Maybe mechanical, maybe human error. Details are still coming out as of today. The visuals were unreal. The fuselage flipped, flames everywhere. Amazingly, some passengers survived, though we don't have exact numbers yet on casualties. Emergency crews did incredible work, but back here, flights out of hubs like Atlanta and Detroit got disrupted. Delta's promising a full investigation, which is really what we need. Answers, not a knee-jerk reaction. This has folks rattled. Air travel's supposed to be safe, one of the safest in the world, and when it's not, trust takes a hit. People on X are debating everything. Runway conditions, pilot training, plane maintenance. The NTSB's teaming up with Canadian officials, and that's smart. Cross-border cooperation makes sense here. No one's rushing to blame yet, which is good. Let's wait for the data. It's a reminder of how fast things can go sideways. Flying's still statistically solid, but this will spark talks about safety standards. Hopefully it's a one-off, not a trend. For now, though, thoughts go out to everyone involved, passengers, crews, and families. We'll definitely keep an eye on what comes next. Next, a health story that's got attention. NPR reported on February 19th that measles cases in West Texas more than doubled in a week. Measles is back, and it's moving quick. Health officials are working overtime to track it and get shots out there, especially with how contagious this bug is. It's centered in West Texas. Specific towns aren't named yet, but the jump in cases is real. Parents are lining up for vaccines, and schools are on alert, some even weighing closures. The CDC is involved, tracing contacts, and hospitals are prepping for more patients. It's a scramble, no doubt about it. Why is this happening? Well, vaccination rates dipped in some spots, and measles doesn't mess around when it finds a gap. Additionally, some believe that people crossing the border to blame for their lack of vaccination in other countries. Online, people are arguing, some push for shots, others dig in against the mandates. Both sides have a point. Protecting kids matters, but so does choice. Finding balance is really the tricky part here. This could get worse before it gets better. Complications like pneumonia are no joke. It's a wake-up call to stay informed and proactive without overreacting. West Texas is handling it, and hopefully it stays contained. Health's a sharp responsibility. Let's hope cooler heads prevail. Shifting to politics, always a hot topic. Reuters reported on February 19th that President Trump's approval is slipping, tied to economic concerns. A month into term 2, and the shine's fading a bit. Polls show people are feeling inflation and job worries, and that's weighing on his numbers. CNN's February 19th poll said 41% thinks he's doing all right, but 21% are surprised. Some good, some bad. Tariffs he pushed on February 13th rattled the markets, and prices are up. Gas, food, you name it. His DOGE plan, cutting government spending, kicked off with $8.5 billion trimmed by February 19th, aiming to return some to taxpayers. It's bold, but details are thin. Trump's busy, that's for sure. He met with pharma and Pentagon leaders on February 19th, signed orders, even renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America back on February 9th. Supporters love the action. Critics want specifics on what's cut. Fair to say both sides are watching their wallets. Nobody likes a squeeze. It's early days. Trump's still got a base, but economic pressures tests everyone. Governing's messy. Big moves can pay off or backfire. We'll see if he steadies the ship. For now, it's a mixed bag. Some cheer, some grumble, and most just want results. Time for a little bit of a breather. Live Mint reported on February 21st that a Virginia woman accidentally won $2 million from a scratch-off, and a New Jersey winner claimed $1.128 billion Mega Millions prize after 9 months. 2 wild stories of luck hitting hard this week. In Virginia, she got the wrong ticket. Clerical error. Scratched it, and boom, $2 million. Confirmed February 20th, and she's over the moon. It's the kind of fluke that makes you laugh. Sometimes life just hands you a win. It's nice to see someone's catching a break these days. New Jersey's a little bit different. $1 billion, won last June, claimed February 20th. 9 months of waiting. Maybe planning, maybe just chilling. Mega Millions says it's one of the biggest ever, and who can argue? That's life-changing money, no matter how you slice it. These stories are fun. Everyone dreams of hitting it big. Lotteries are a long shot, but when they pay off, it's a jolt of good news. Virginia and Jersey are celebrating, and I'm betting a few more tickets get sold this weekend. What would you do if you won that cash? A little food for thought. Hit me up on social media or send me an email. I want to hear your thoughts on this story. Now here's an oddball story. On February 20th, some of Prince Harry's U.S. visa records will go public. Redacted, of course, despite Trump saying he won't deport him. It's tied to a drug use probe from his memoir, and it's got people talking. Harry's currently living in California, and a lawsuit claims his visa might not hold up if he admitted to past drug use. Trump's cool with him staying, but a judge on February 20th said, release the docs. They'll hide the juicy stuff, but it's still a peek behind the curtain. Privacy versus rules. It's a classic debate. This lands as Trump's juggling calls with Putin and Zelensky. February 19th, keeping things busy. X is buzzing as well. Some want the full story. Others say, just leave him be. It's less about scandal and more about process. How'd he get in? Fair question. No pitchforks needed. Harry's living his life. Good for him. But transparency matters too. This won't end the world. It's just a headline with legs. Royals in America always draw eyes. Let's see what drops and move on. No need to overblow it. Now to a more sad story. It was reported on February 20th that Cal Fire Captain Becky Marodi was stabbed to death at home in San Diego County. The suspect's her wife, Yolanda Olenjinsik. It's a gut punch, tragic and hard to process. Becky was a standout. She spent years fighting fires and saving lives. She was found dead on February 19th, and the suspect was named by February 20th. It looks like domestic violence, but details are slim. Sheriff's got Yolanda in custody, and the case is moving forward as of today. Firefighters are heartbroken. Tributes are everywhere. Investigations take time, and this one's still fresh. Evidence is stacking up, they say. Losing someone like Becky off-duty hurts extra. She was a hero. No one's pointing fingers beyond the suspect yet. Let justice play out. Communities rallying, which is what matters now. It's a reminder. Life's fragile, even for the toughest. Domestic issues cut deep, and this one's raw. Thoughts to her family and crew. We'll follow it, but for now, it's about respecting her legacy and hoping for answers. Well, as we usually do in these weekly news updates, we're going to talk about the weather as it's been a hot topic lately. And weather's definitely making waves. NPR said that storms hit at least 20 states with snow and ice. It's a big swath of the country digging out, from the plains to the south, and it's testing everyone. Northern Plains saw 60 below wind chills Tuesday, then ice spread south by February 19th. Texas, Oklahoma, and even Tennessee got hit. Roads are treacherous, accidents piling up, and power's out for thousands in the Midwest as of February 20th. After floods killed 14 in Kentucky, Kentucky's back in it, 0-degree wind chills by February 19th. The National Weather Service warns of black ice and whiteouts throughout today. People are adapting, stocking up, and staying off the roads. It's tough, but manageable if we're smart about it. Weather doesn't care about your plans, it just hits. Communities are pulling together, and that's the silver lining. More coming this weekend, so prep makes sense. Stay safe out there. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Let's head back to D.C., and this is a messy one. The Washington Post said on February 17th that Trump's team fired thousands of federal workers for performance issues. By February 20th, it's a firestorm. Some say it's overdue, others call it reckless. No easy answers here. Probationary folks got cut. It's part of the DOJ push. Shrink government, save money. The Post says evidence is shaky. ABC News on February 17th noted mix-up with buyout workers fired too. White House admits glitches, but they're pressing on. Supreme Court's even in play. Unions are livid. Legal fights are brewing, and it's been extremely tense. The goal is efficiency, which sounds good, but execution's sloppy. Critics want proof of poor performance. Supporters say government's too big anyway. Both have a case. Waste definitely exists, but process does matter. It's definitely a bold swing. Trump style could trim fat or just cause chaos, but we'll see. Feds do real work, but not every job's sacred. Let's watch the fallout. Lawsuits might clarify it. But for now, it's a hot potato. Handle with care. Some good news. Science is delivering. X lit up on February 21st with word that London doctors used gene therapy to help 4 blind toddlers see. Leber congenital amaurosis. U.S. researchers are tuned in, and it's worth cheering. Moorfield's Eye Hospital did it, injected healthy A1PL1 genes, and by February 20th, these kids could see shapes, faces, even start reading. It's not perfect yet, but it's a leap. American docs call it a big deal, and our trials are picking up steam. Why is it here? The FDA's on board, and U.S. biotech's watching close. It's pricey and complex, but the payoff's huge. Kids getting a shot at a normal life. X is full of hope. Parents, doctors, regular folks moved by it. Progress like this cuts through the noise. We love seeing breakthroughs like this. It's hard work paying off, not handouts or hype. Could be a game changer down the line. Here's to hoping that we can keep the momentum. Hat off to those docs, researchers, and kids, because bright days are ahead. Wrapping up with a head turner. Reuters caught Elon Musk waving a chainsaw at CPAC in Maryland on February 20th. Yeah, a chainsaw. That's classic Elon. It's quirky, but it's got people talking of it today. CPAC's a big conservative gathering, and Elon's a draw. He revved that thing on stage, and the crowd loved it. X exploded on February 21st, likely a nod to cutting government waste. But he didn't spell it out. Showman or symbol? Take your pick. The chainsaw was a gift from Argentine President Javier Milei, who is known for slashing government spending in Argentina. Musk's tight with Trump's crew lately, pushing efficiency. Some see a genius, others see a stunt. It's fair to say that it could be both, but he's got a knack for grabbing eyes. Doesn't change policy, but it sure livens up the room. Elon's unpredictable and larger than life. It's a moment, not a manifesto. People will meme it, debate it, and move on. Got to admit, it's a fun cap to a heavy week. What's next? Bulldozer at the RNC? We don't know, but never a dull minute with Elon around. Well, that's the rundown, folks. The top 10 stories from this last week, straight down the middle. Thanks for hanging out on Just a Dude Podcast. Subscribe, drop a review, and find me on social media. I'm on all major platforms. I'm Nathan, Just a Dude, signing off. Stay sharp, and see you next week.